We just got home from a trip to Dallas, Texas. Last week, I posted an update video about our big move coming up in only a month. If you haven't watched that, go check it out after you're done with this video. So you might have thought I'd have spent the past week packing. That would be a reasonable thing to do, but apparently we don't do things reasonably. No, Clay and I headed to Dallas, Texas for a conference for the last 5 days. The reason we're moving to Edmonton is to plant a new church, and we've been a part of the Acts 29 church planting network for the last 15 years, and we've been to a number of network conferences during that time. We always leave them feeling refreshed and encouraged by our time gathering with other people from within the network, and this time was no different. In addition to all the good things that conferences usually have to offer, this time our friends Jared and Chantel, who are moving with us, were also able to come. And it was so great to spend more time with them. And we arrived a day before the conference started, and we went to a concert together. I don't even remember the last time I've been to a live show. It might have been when I was pregnant with Deacon 12 years ago when we went and saw Switchfoot. Anyway, I'm old now, and I have been for a while, but thankfully, so are my husband and my friends, meaning we all want to enjoy a concert from the comfort of a chair and not standing down at the front. Used to be me, down in the front, jumping around 25 years ago. How am I so old? Anyway, we're huge Citizens fans, and they were the opening act, and the headliner was Chris Renzema, whose music we also really enjoy, so it was a really great evening. Loud? Of course, but really fun. Our Uber ride back to the hotel was not fun. It was a harrowing experience, and we were all just grateful to arrive alive. The driver was going so fast, and the windows were down. He was going 90 in like a 50-mile-an-hour zone. He never signaled once the entire trip, and we were all fairly certain we were gonna die, but thankfully we didn't. The next day, we had some time before the conference started, so we went shopping. Now here's a tip for free. Get yourself some friends who like grocery shopping as much as you do. Which is to say, if you don't like grocery shopping, then they won't drag you along. But if you do like it, and you all like it, you can justify calling an Uber just to go to Trader Joe's. I listened to this really great podcast called Come Over for Dinner, which maybe you could guess is all about having people over for dinner. It's a celebration of biblical hospitality, and the guests always have really helpful tips and recipes to share. So anyway, from listening to that, I've been keeping this list of things that I want to buy whenever I finally get back to the States. So I picked up some seasonings at Trader Joe's and at Tom Thumb, and we bought a bunch of treats for the kids too. When we travel, we try to just bring back fun food so that we're not adding clutter to the house, because souvenirs, they're kind of fun, but eventually they're just not that exciting to the people who haven't been where they came from. So anyway, we bring food. Everyone loves trying treats that we can't get in Canada. I'm curious to know what you think I should have brought home. If you are from Canada, what do you bring back when you go to the States? Or if you live in the United States, what do you think I should have tried that are some of your favorites? Even if you don't know if I have them in Canada or not, I'd just be curious to know what kinds of things you like. Then we also met up with a bunch of friends from our sister church in Saskatoon and some friends from home who moved to Fort Worth last summer. It was so good to reconnect with them. The conference was stacked with so many great speakers. We heard from Joby Martin, Sam Albury, Jay Thomas, John Piper, Brian Loritz, and Matt Chandler, and we were challenged with so many things to do whatever it takes to bring people to Jesus and to compassionately welcome people into the kingdom of God with love and humility.
Some of us have to lay that freedom down. Some of us have to do it. Are you free? Yeah. Should you lay that freedom down? How often are we in this? How much are we in this? How warm do you need your face to be before you can feel some peace?
I mean, seriously, I find that this, what to me now feels so simple, so basic, clipboard is, people don't get it. At least if they say they get it, they nod up and down their heads, and they go away, and they don't say it. They don't say it. They don't draw attention to the fact that God is most glorified in us when we are most satisfied in Him. And therefore you preach and you pursue satisfaction in God 24/7 till you're dead. And then for eternity. Why? Because it makes much of Him, right? It makes much of Him when your church is full of so much satisfaction in God. Let goods and kindred go. This mortal life also, the body they may kill. God's truth abideth still. Bring it on. I will do God's will because He is my satisfaction. God gets great glory from that.
Every time they'd ask him, who are you, John? Who are you, John? Who are you, John? And John, it almost seems like, got uncomfortable with the questions, to the point that the way he answered was by telling them who he was not rather than who he was.
If you're here today, you would say, I am in a crisis right now.
Our passion was renewed to risk everything for the sake of the gospel because the world needs Jesus, and He sent us to share the good news of life with Him. We remembered the glory of God and His sovereign grace in the saving of sinners. We were reminded that God has more mercy than we have mess. And we were exhorted to run the race set before each of us, not someone else's race, and to not leave an inch for sin to gain a foothold in our lives. It was so good to sit under such gifted teachers, to sing praise to God in a room filled with so many other believers, and to connect with others who know the joys and the challenges of church planting. We even found good coffee, which was a blessing we were not expecting. We've never found good coffee when we traveled to the United States, which I'm not taking a stab at the entire country, but where we travel, coffee's not good. But there was a coffee truck parked near the convention center, and they served us so well, and they even made me my usual Americano misto, which no one ever in the United States even knows what that is, but I explained it to them, and it was the best I've had away from home. So that was amazing. Then we ate some amazing tacos and enchiladas and fajitas and enjoyed amazing weather. It was 26 to 30 degrees Celsius the entire time. It's hard to wrap my head around that being spring weather. It was great, except for the fact that I had to carry a sweater with me because the temperature difference between being outside and then going into an air-conditioned indoor space was always so drastic, but I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. It was excellent. Then our flights home took us from Dallas-Fort Worth to Montreal to Toronto, finally back to Saskatoon. So it was a whole day of traveling. And then when we got home, we were greeted with a few inches of snow because I already put the winter stuff away, and it always has to snow after that, right? Sorry about that, everyone. Thanks for coming along with us. I'll see you next time.